And today, I wanted to talk about our very first partner, LDiscovery, who is celebrating their 10-year anniversary as a Relativity hosting partner. And I've asked my guy, Chris, and Taffi to come on and tell us a little bit about what we're doing with Relativity and our partnership. Come on up, guys. What made you decide to take a leap on us 10 years ago, man?
Well, I've been in the industry for about 25 years now. When we had first started LDiscovery, we looked at, there were just a very few platforms that a company like ours could license. And iConnected was one of those, but when Mike had introduced me to Andrew, and I got on the phone with you, and the passion and excitement you had about the space and the future and your strategic vision, and the fact that you would listen to customers, make changes on the fly, come and meet with us, all the kind of things that you've done consistently the past 10 years, it got me very excited that there was a great opportunity here. So we stroked a big check and couldn't be happier.
That's cool. That's cool. When you think about what you guys are doing in the marketplace, I think LDiscovery is unique in that you're one of the groups that spent a lot in your own software development.
Yeah.
You've built all kinds of technology in Relativity, outside of the Relativity. You connected the two together. Why do you guys make such a huge investment?
So this also goes back, a long, long time. I went to the Naval Academy and played football there. So first Navy beat Houston this weekend.
Wait, that was his son who just...
I'll get to that, but it was the first time the Navy had beaten a ranked opponent since I played and scored 2 touchdowns. We beat number 2 South Carolina in 1984. So that was a big weekend. That was my son. If you didn't catch him, it was last week. He kicked a 54-yard field goal against FSU to beat him, and it was like a walk-off home run, so it was pretty awesome. So, when I first got in this space back in 1991, I've been part of the evolution of legal technology from 100% paper-based and copying to scanning, bibliographic coding. And we had heard that the rumblings out there back in the late 90s, if you guys all remember, doing blowback printing of emails and e-docs, to where there may be a better solution. So we already had a software development group, and we jumped in when I was running on-site sourcing, which I founded back in 1993, and started developing one of the first e-discovery platforms. So I think when you look at this space from a service provider perspective, and there's one thing I have to say is this room is filled with the most amazing entrepreneurs and minds and creative people, passionate about what they do, passionate about their customers and their clients. And I think we were put in a position where we just kind of followed it, and we were able to make the most of that when I was running on-site. And then when we started LDiscovery, we needed to ramp up that development much more quickly. And that's when we kind of stumbled into you and our relationship, and continue to build on the e-discovery platform that we had built at on-site. And our mantra is get bigger, faster, stronger. So we knew that as time went on, like everything in the legal space where prices flow down dramatically, pricing pressure all the time, that we would have to do a lot more with less. So we developed our own collection software, our own calling filtering software, processing software, some of our own analytics, because we wanted an edge in pricing and efficiency and productivity, and the perfect platform, the ubiquitous platform now with your group for the end user. So really, our blend of proprietary and third-party tools has been amazing for us.
Yeah, and I think you've done a really good job of integrating all those different pieces, whether it's the processing engine and the NX piece back into Relativity, and it's really cool. This thing is awesome. This AV suite.
Yeah.
How did we do this? Tell us about that.
Well, as you know, listening and viewing video files, there's no redaction tool on the market for it.
Yeah.
And so we have obviously some very bright technologists who work for us, and we are constantly listening to client requests, which is how we come up with these add-ons. And our AV suite, which is up for the Innovation Awards, you can still vote for that. You can see us later on today or tomorrow with that, so please vote. Gives you the ability to actually redact both audio and video files within Relativity. So it's
cool.
a really exciting tool for us.
Cool. It looks awesome. It's like,
Yeah.
it looks like we built it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Great job.
You didn't though. That's
I know
ours.
we didn't. I know we didn't. You guys are like killing it on like these monstrous cases, 50 terabytes processed, 4.5 terabytes processed, 19
Yeah.
terabytes, let's highlight one of these things. Which one do you want to talk about?
Sure, let's talk about our government agency case. So we had, for that particular matter, which we've kind of even still now to this day have been working on, but it was actively hosted for over 2 years, and there were 20 different separate litigations that were involved with it. And we processed 50 terabytes of data, and then obviously as that expands and gets larger, then it was really hosting 80 terabytes of data with it. And we used predictive coding and email threading to whittle down those incoming production sets that would come in. We would have over 1,000 users accessing the database at one time in any given day, and we actually built out their own SQL instance so that they could make sure that everything was going to run fast and be quick, because they would have search strings that would be thousands and thousands and thousands of terms and phrases. So with that, I mean, that's a real feather in our cap, as we like to say, that we really love that case, and we learned so much about ourselves and the platform during that time.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So last year you took on a financial partner with the Carlyle Group, and you're starting to make some big investments into LDiscovery. And there's like a data center you built now. Tell us about it.
So, the Carlyle Group and Revolution Growth, when they invested in us, they had several theses of why they invested in us. And I think that one of the things that we want to accomplish this year was invest very heavily into our own private cloud infrastructure. We'll get to this hopefully a little bit later, but we've always been the kind of company that invested way in front of demand. So we have built a $7 million Hive infrastructure in Ashburn. It's an Equinix facility, which fails over to our Austin, Texas facility where Renew Data was located. It is each Hive, we split the database manager out for Relativity into 3 different Hives. Each Hive is an order of magnitude larger than our primary data center that we have today in Virginia. And the failover time today is about, it's less than an hour. So we felt like we needed that scale to be able to do all the organic and the potential inorganic growth that we plan to do to build a company, and we felt like that was the right move to make.
Cool. I got to tell you, when earlier this year, when we announced Relativity One, and the first people that we announced it to was to our partner community, and the day after the webinar, you text me, you're like, call me, right? And I thought you were going to have a bunch of rough questions for me, or like, hey, what are you doing? And you said you were all in. It's the last 10 years were great, and the next 10 years, I believe in what we're doing here. Can you talk about what do you think about Relativity One?
Sure. I mean, I'm not I'm probably not the most tenured person in the room, but we've certainly seen our share of growth and stories in this business. What you've built at Kekura, you're filling a room this size.
We built
thousands of people. I understand that, but the fact is that the idea had to come first, and I think that you've listened to people, you've taken customer suggestions, you've made a reality out of those. You are extremely down to earth. Andrew and I have a standing call every 2 weeks just to kind of catch up on stuff and talk about the business.
Except during football season, because you're coaching your kid.
Yeah,
you'd always cancel me during football season.
That's true. Well, I retired now, so I could go watch him. So, but I think that at LDiscovery, our approach is going to be a hybrid approach. We're super excited about I don't know if we can be the first one, but we certainly want to be the group of first with you as you move along in the cloud. I think that if you're a service provider channel partner like us, you need to have a private cloud for a lot of different reasons. Control certain types of security, certain types of clients, but we certainly are going to hitch our wagon to you and Kura, and I think that you have done the vendor community such a world of good. It's not even funny, and I think that we have a lot to be thankful for, and we're just super excited to continue to be your partner in the future.
Well, I'm excited too, man. Thanks so much for coming up on board,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.